All right, so just finished episode 3 of Obi-Wan. Um yeah, okay. Uh I really enjoyed the episode. But I did have like a hard time just watching through this, like getting emotional reactions to things. And that's because like I was distracted this entire episode. It's really a shame because I I really enjoy this show. But like none of my friends who have seen the show, or even my coworkers, like the show. They think that it's boring, there's nothing's happening, and it's not great. Which is a shame because like I really enjoy it, and it's like when people don't like things that you like, it's kind of sad, and it's like, is this good? I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at things too much. But I just really like Star Wars. I just really like the mundane. Like, yeah, the stuff is slow, but I really like this mundane thing that they have going on, which really fits the situation that the characters are in. And I enjoy it because it makes sense to me. There's a logic to it. And I get like some people just want things to happen instead of just, oh, I don't care about Obi-Wan going to work, not doing anything. Uh, I mean, I care about that. I like seeing stuff like that. I know we're gonna get stuff in this episode. Spoilers, by the way. We get to see some cool stuff. Vader pops in. We get a lightsaber fight, and that's it. But like I can understand to some degree. Like one of my coworkers, he's an acting professor. One of his big complaints is like a lot of the acting in the show is not great, which is true. Like besides Joel Edgerton and Ewan McGregor, a lot of the other characters' actings is kind of iffy. It could be the character. A lot of it is one of your main characters is a child actor, and then you have other people who aren't really known to be actors. So of course acting professors are very picky, so they're just breaking apart everybody's performance. So take it with a grain of salt. But yeah, episode 3. I enjoyed it for as much as I could. I couldn't express that enjoyment with like cheers or excitement. Um, but I really liked what I saw. We had Vader. He looked really cool. Uh, and that fight. The fight, I don't know if I can say that it was impressive. I might have to take some time. But it was really there's a lot of the fight choreography in this one specifically where the lightsabers were like touching each other in the bind. It's where you're pressing your swords together and not like fighting. And that's like a trope. And that professional sword fighters, they hate it when movies do that. And here, I think, is the longest we've had a bind in any of the Star Wars fights. Which I was seeing that. It's like, oh, that's not great choreography because there's nothing going on. But still, the lighting with the fights was cool. Just the lighting on Vader's suit when the lightsabers are happening. It's like, oh, it looks so awesome. The music, I have to like listen again with headphones because like that will change my perspective. But the music I didn't really notice very much, which we have Star Wars an action scene, you really need to get your music down. Because even the Mandalorian, when they had that lightsaber fight, um, there was music, and I could hear it, and I could say that the music really matched the fight. But no, like Vader here was just an awesome presence. Like he shows up, he looks cool, and then when he goes through the town, like he is terrifying. He's like choking people. He like snaps the neck of a kid who just runs to his dad's rescue, which is like so sad and shocking. He like is dragging people across the street like he's menacing, putting on a show. And then when he fights Obi-Wan, Obi-Wan is so rusty and it's like not doing very well. He is terrified of Vader. And Vader, he's not giving it his all. He's really toying with Obi-Wan, like just using one hand. and like beating him very easily to the point where like he's just using the Force on Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan's like not deflecting it, and like he drags Obi-Wan through fire, and it's like I never imagined that, like having forcing Obi-Wan to experience what Anakin felt for the fire was just so brutal, but really cool. Um, Another thing that distracted me was like the Grand Inquisitor is just kind of glossed over. Um, he shouldn't be dead, but the show is kind of treating him like he is dead. Reva says it's like, oh, the Grand Inquisitor, like ever since he, and then they cut off that line, but like she's clearly saying ever since he died. But there's something weird going on. They're probably gonna. I really hope that they finally address that because it was I was distracted by that the entire episode. It's like, are they really gonna ignore that? But it doesn't matter. I have to wait a whole week for the next episode, which is gonna be painful. Last time I had like a whole weekend of Star Wars news and content to experience, and now I have to wait a whole week. Boy, that's gonna be something. I really enjoyed like the episode leading up to it. I really enjoyed just seeing a character who really enjoys being under Imperial occupation. We don't really get to see that much, and like Freck, he is such. I thought he was a fun character, especially like how friendly he is, even towards the Imperials. Like, oh, these guys are my buddies. He just picks them up on his like pickup truck, and they're like, oh, hey, Frick, you can give us a ride. It's a weird thing you don't see often where stormtroopers are actually semi-friendly towards civilians, and like they know them personally. Of course, this will change once new orders will come in. But it was still very interesting to see that the Imperials were kind of used to having an alien creature because they're kind of discriminatory at times. So yeah, that's where we're at. I really enjoyed Obi-Wan's conversation, like the story that he talks about. It's like, oh, when he gives up Leia's name, and he starts talking about Leia's mother, and it's just it's great. I've been really enjoying that aspect of the show. There was a Quinlan Voss like a tease, which was really exciting to see. Like we've all been wondering that because he was teased in a comic that he might still be alive, but here we got confirmation that he is still alive, which really cool. Quinlan Voss, a very underutilized character in canon, so hopefully we'll see some more stuff. I can't wait to see Qui-Gon. I hope to see Qui-Gon. I mean, Liam Neeson's returning for Tales of the Jedi, so of course he should be here. So yeah, one fun thing that I would probably want to address is Vader's voice. Um, and I thought it was very weird when he was first talking, and like he is credited as James Earl Jones, and like it does sound like James Earl Jones, but the thing is, he sounds like a younger James Earl Jones, and like some of the lines is just it doesn't sound like an intentional reading of that line. So which makes me think that they're using the same technology to recreate younger Luke's voice, respeech or something, with Vader. But I think with Vader, it's more convincing because Vader talks in that semi-monotone voice, but like puts emphasis on certain words. And I think it works well with Vader here because it's also modulated. So it works better than Luke, but if it's not modulation, then I'm just being silly. But I think I want to say I caught that. That one of the 2,000 people that caught that. 2 million people that could catch that. But still, that's what I think is what they're doing Vader's voice with, because otherwise James just sounds very young for his age. And we've seen him sound older. Still, cool stuff. I'm excited to see what the next stuff is. I can understand why people don't like the slow burner stuff, but like I don't mind it. I like it. I also I also see this as like the bigger picture. It's like I know that I might not be enjoying it now, but like I will sometimes wait till like something ends and then be like, okay, now that all makes sense and I can enjoy the full picture versus like, oh, it's not great, but it's just the first 3 episodes. Halfway over. But no, I think it's good. Others don't, which makes me sad. Anyway, thank you guys for listening and watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye.